Hi, this is Sarah, the Stitchin' Mommy, and I'm here for my weekly update. It's Monday, September 18th, I think. Totally winging it today, don't have that much to show, don't have any notes written down, so I hope I don't forget anything. But here's what we did last week, I guess is where we'll start. I showed you, I was working on my chatelaine, which I started for my birthday. This is Winter Wonderland band sampler, and I had one more day of working on it before putting it away, which I didn't really want to do, but I was afraid I would get burnt out if I just kept going. I'm not sure if I would, but I am feeling a little bit more drawn to longer chunks of time. I don't know if I can handle being entirely monogamous because I just have too many things I want to work on, but I don't know. I will tell you later about what I think I'm going to change for right away for my plans, because I don't want the small chunks at all, I don't think. So what I did, here's where my chatelaine was last week. Here's where it is now. That's pretty good. I did some more, since you saw it, I did that snowflake and more of these trees. This tree is completely finished with the DMC and silk lame braid for the snow. This tree is almost done with the lame braid. It's got this Gloriana silk in it and then a couple shades of DMC and then the sparkly snow color. This DMC is done, but no, not really any, there's just these ones. Not really any silk lame on that one yet. Then there's going to be a metallic star right here and then some bicombs that I was going to put in when I finished this section. And then the frame and then the rest of the scene is going to come down. So I am hoping to pull this out once a month and do 5 or 6 days on it because I really like it and I want to keep going. So you can look for this again in October. I think that's what I'm going to try to do. I really liked that. Kind of wish I could have, oh yeah, there's these little guys too, these little flowers that are backstitched. And these leaves are like 3/4 stitches or something. But I liked how that was going. What do I want to say? I'm really spacey. Not really in the mood to stitch, or kind of in the mood to stitch, just not really in the mood to talk, I guess. So anyways, I'm kind of scattered-brained. This week was busy with life, so not as much stitching as I would have hoped. And it's kind of led me to reevaluate how much time I want to devote to stitching and how the rotations should go, because shorter chunks are kind of discouraging because then not as much stuff gets done. And I've noticed on full coverage pieces, particularly the love letter that I worked on this week, I don't really get into it until 3 or 4 days has passed, and then I finally am getting traction and then I want to work on it. The first couple days I'm just like picking away at it, not really wanting to find time to stitch. So it's kind of strange. So I definitely don't want to do a full coverage piece on a 3-day rotation, even if it's a easy, full coverage. It's still, I'm not getting into it until the rotation's practically over. So that was something new that I learned. When I put my chatelaine away, I picked up the love letter. Here is where it was last time, my starting point. And I got one column finished, barely. I stayed up late to finish this little section. Here's where it is now. So I have this one little column here with a little bit more of her hat. And her hat is starting to show up in full force now, so these next columns, it's like arching over. There'll be a lot more yellow in the next few columns. Kind of interesting. So there's that. My feather at the top of her hat on the love letter. And like I said, the first day or two I did the green part, first couple days, this background. And then maybe it was just because it was white and it was hard to do, because white on white is not easy. It's hard to count. So maybe that's what was making me slog along. But by the time I was finally pushing through on day 4 was when I finally felt like working on it. So that was kind of unfortunate. So in the future, I think full coverage pieces need at least 5 days, maybe 6. Fewer pieces per month, but more love on each piece. Then the 15th, the National Park Greetings from the Parks first clue came out. This is going to be like postcard style, I guess, and they have Grand Teton and arches for this month. And so each of these little postcards is full coverage, and it looks like there'll be 6 postcards and probably some border. I don't know if there's border up there, but there's at least some border down here you can see. So I started that. I only got a teeny tiny bit started on the release day because I wanted to finish that column on the love letter, but the next day and the few days since then I have worked a little bit on this. So here's where I am now. Can you really, there's 2 shades of dark, like a really dark turquoise and then dark navy for the sky. And then I did all the white, including the white over here in the Tetons. And it just this morning started a little bit on the yellow. And I'll do yellow in both. I'm going to do both clues. Once I have, I'll pick a color. What I'm doing is I'm picking colors starting from this corner. But when I get to them, I'll do them everywhere, just so that I can like pull a bobbin out of my box and do it all until it's done. Then pick another color. And so that's what I'm doing on that one. I have scheduled to do, this is 18 count Ada on beige Ada. I've scheduled to do this today and tomorrow. I don't know that I'll get it done in those 2 days. So what I'm thinking of doing is working on it till it's done, because I don't want to get behind on this one. I think I want to keep the thrill of the mystery Sal alive and well to keep my motivation to want to work on it. I think if I get behind, I won't want to work on it and it just won't get done. So I'd like to finish it in the next few days. I had on my schedule to work on Princess de Broglie next for 3 days, and then 3 Sisters for 3 days. But I have decided I don't want to do a 3-day rotation on a full coverage because it's just too short. So what I'm going to do instead, I'll work on the national parks until it's finished. These 2 combined would be 6 days. These 2 combined would be 6 days. So if I finish national parks the day I'm supposed to, I would have a full 6-day rotation, and I think I will do 3 Sisters. Because of these 2, this one is the one I've been wanting to work on more. And I'll show you that in a second. If I take too long to finish national parks and the 6 days turns into like 4 or 3, I'm going to just scrap both of these full coverage pieces and go straight to Royal Holiday and start her early and give her more than the 5 days at the end of the month. So, because she could use it. So, rather than try to get into a full coverage piece and not really get into it, I'd rather just add more time on Royal Holiday and have lots of days to get into that one. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. So I'll show you my, well, I'm talking about these. I'll show you these. So first off, I'll show you where I am on Three Sisters, my starting point. This is literally a 36-inch piece of 18 count Aida. And here's where I am on this. So I have done some parking up here in the confetti madness that is the green background. And then I think I'm going to continue. What I'll probably do is I'll probably do like a block of confetti parking, and then a color in her cross country, and then go back and do another block, and then another color cross country. That's kind of what I'm going to try this time around, because I like how she is showing up cross country, and her face covers like 6 or 7 pages, so she's definitely extreme cross country. Because the bottom of the pattern is like right here, you know, it's, I guess she's got a good amount of dress, but this is this first little blonde girl, this one. So I'll be doing, hopefully I'll finish my National Park Sal, and I'll give this 5 or 6 days. Because I've been kind of wanting to get back to this one and see how that works, to go back and forth between parking on the tedious background and then extreme cross country on her face, because that's kind of fun to see it evolve that way, one color at a time. So there's that one. Hopefully we'll see some time this week. And then, do I get to this one? Depending on when I probably don't need to show you that yet. I'll probably start Royal Holiday. Well, no, I might. I'll show you Royal Holiday. I don't think you mind seeing her again. If I end up with not enough days to make it worth working on Three Sisters, I'll pick up Royal Holiday early. So here's where she's at now. And you've seen her before. I have not worked on her since you saw her last, but I'm hoping to finish her this year. And so I may get her out, if all goes as planned and I'm able to work on Three Sisters, then I will probably pick her up around the time I film my next video. So you may not see progress on this, but you might. So I thought I would show you, just in case. Now I can show you my temperature garden progress, because I finally pulled this out yesterday to finish. I was 3 flowers behind. When I was only 2 flowers behind, I put in a couple petals on the first flower, but then I think that's when the National Parks thing came out, and that just took over. But yesterday during the football game, we are a Denver Broncos household. So while I don't sit and watch all the football games with my husband and oldest son, who are football addicts, but I do like to support their favorite team. So when the Broncos are playing, I'll go in there and sit in there and stitch in there. So I brought my temperature garden in to work on while I was watching the game yesterday. So I got all the first 3 flowers of September finished. So here's what it looked like last time. And here it is now. And last time we had the blazing heat, and I was expecting some of these petals to be hotter, but they really weren't. This one and this one were low 100s. But it's fall is kind of creeping up. This was a 72 high right here, so it's starting to get a little bit cooler. Mornings feel a lot crisper and cooler, where you need a light jacket for the first couple hours of the day, and it's dark in the morning, so it's definitely starting to feel like fall, which is nice. So I got that cut up. You may see another flower on that next time as well. I'm working on my secret stitch. I took another picture of it this morning. I had to wait around for a few minutes this morning before a meeting at school, so I got another length of thread done, but I took a picture before that. So every Monday I'll try to take a picture of that one to share it with you later. And so yeah, going forward into October, I had it arranged to do 3 and 5 day rotations, but I think I want to scrap 3-day rotations and go to 5 or 6. So we'll see what that looks like, because there's so many things that I want to work on. So I'm going to keep playing with that. I think that's everything I have for you today. Fewer projects, so fewer updates, no haul. So I guess that's everything. I hope you have a happy week stitching and are able to find some downtime to do your stitching and not have too much craziness going on. So with that, I hope you have a nice week. Happy stitching!